Hi everyone, it's Ian. Welcome back to my channel. And this video for today, this Tuesday bonus upload, I'm going to be showing you some dinners that I made over the course of a week for me and my husband during quarantine. So these are easy, simple recipes for when you're tired of cooking. And I say recipes loosely because there really is no recipe. This is just like toss it in the pan and go type of stuff. So if you hate cooking like I do, then this will probably suit you pretty well. The first thing I'm going to make is a fried chicken salad, and there's basically no cooking involved. It's just heating up this Tyson chicken on a cooking sheet in the oven. You're going to do it according to the package instructions. I'm not going to over explain this to you. I think you'll understand how to do this. But basically, for one bag of salad for 2 people, I used about 4 strips. I had one big monster strip and one tiny baby nugget strip to, I guess, make up for each other. And here's what I put in my salad. I chopped up some raw red onion to put in there, which adds a nice crunch to the salad. But here's a question I have for you guys. Do you think that red onion is spicy, or am I just crazy and white? Because there's something about red onion that like burns my nose when I eat it raw. I don't dislike it, but there's something about it. Let me know if you agree or if you think I'm nuts. But yeah, red onion's kind of spicy. Adds heat to this. So I'm just dumping in this bag of Italian salad mix. I don't really know what exactly makes this Italian. It's just romaine lettuce and purple cabbage, but apparently that's the way the Italians do their salads according to this bag. I went ahead and threw in my red onion, and I also added some baby spinach to this because I had some in my fridge and I wanted to use it. So there's some spinach in there too, extra superfood health. And of course, we're going to add in another superfood, which is crispy bacon. I just had a little bit of bacon left in my fridge from an old package, and I wanted to throw this in before the bacon got weird. So this doesn't really add much to the salad, but it doesn't take away anything either. So if you've got like a couple of strips of bacon left in your fridge, you can go ahead and toss them into your salad too. I didn't put any croutons because the breading on the chicken breast strips are pretty crispy as it is. So you don't need to put any croutons in your salad unless you just really love the extra carbs, which if that's the case, no judgment. So then I basically took these from the oven and cut them up into little bits. If you have a bigger family, I guess you would just add another bag of salad and another 4 chicken strips and keep doing that until, you've got the appropriate amount of salad. I put in this Fiesta blend cheese. It doesn't really matter what kind of cheese you use, to be honest. I love cheese, so I keep this big 2-pound bag of Fiesta blend cheese in my fridge basically at all times, and when I run out, I buy another bag, and usually it lasts for like 2 or 3 weeks. And here we have it all done. Next up, I'm making creamy pasta. This is going to be the most involved recipe in this video. You need cheese, butter, milk, pasta, and whatever vegetables you want to put into your pasta. So you're going to cook the pasta according to the package instructions. And what I did for this recipe, I made it all basically in this one pan, plus I used a baking sheet to cook some asparagus. But basically, when I got done with the pasta, I just threw it in the colander in the sink off screen. Here I have some asparagus on that baking sheet, and I tossed it in olive oil with salt and pepper, and then you're just going to bake this at 400 for about 15 minutes, and we're going to use this to just throw on top of the pasta at the very end. So I'm going to go ahead and get this going while I make the sauce. So we're going to put some red onion in it again because I had that red onion in the fridge. And then I'm also going to add in spinach and diced tomatoes as well. Now, at this point, you're going to cook these onions in some olive oil in the same pan. Like you can see, there's some pasta that's stuck to the bottom. That's okay. Don't worry about it. I would throw in some fresh cloves of garlic at this point if you have some. That's the one thing that this recipe was probably missing, so definitely add garlic. Then I just tossed in the spinach and the diced tomatoes until all the juices came out and it got kind of loosey-goosey there in the pan. And then I just threw these on top of the pasta that was sitting in the colander to wait until the sauce is ready. So the sauce, you're going to melt a couple of tablespoons of butter in the pan, and then you'll throw in some flour, and you basically just stir it around until the flour absorbs all of the fat from the butter. If you wanted to make this really good, you could also add bacon and make the roux from the bacon fat instead of from butter. That would be a lot more flavorful. So once you've got the flour saturated, then you add in milk and whisk it until the clumps are gone. And then that's when you add in the cheese. So this is once I've put in the mozzarella and the Parmesan cheese. And then I thought that the sauce was too thick, so we added more milk to it. You can see my husband is helping me make this because I'm not that good at cooking and I'm not good at making roux. It's not that hard to make a roux. You can always, mix it up until it gets to the right consistency. But then we just tossed all of the vegetables and the pasta into the sauce and stirred it around until all the noodles were covered. See how good that looks? And it was easy, all in the same pan. And there I just threw some of the asparagus on top, and wham bam, there's your pasta. Next up is naan pizza. This is not an authentic recipe at all. This is something I definitely made up at one point. Naan is from India and hummus is from the Middle East, so the Mediterranean maybe. So it's not really accurate to any of those cultures. So what we're going to do is we're going to preheat the oven to 400, and we're going to toss our vegetables in some olive oil, salt and pepper, and on a lined baking sheet. And we're going to throw that in the oven for about 14 minutes. And that's about it. Once that's done, I pulled the sheet of aluminum foil off of my baking sheet and I relined it again and threw the naan slices on top, and then I just spread some hummus out over them. This recipe is not exactly cheap. I think the hummus was $2 and the 2 slices of naan bread were almost $3, so that's $5 right there plus the cost of the produce. So it's less than $5 per serving, which is good, but I would rather my recipes be less than like $2 per serving personally, but it's not too expensive. Then I just threw my vegetables that I roasted in the oven on top of this quote-unquote pizza. Now, if you were paying attention, I had diced tomatoes still, and I had a little bit of my bag of spinach left. So in addition to the squash and the red onion and the asparagus, I also added the diced tomato and the spinach. I had a red bell pepper, which is much better, but it was kind of rotten, so I threw it away, unfortunately. So here I'm topping up the pizza. In my opinion, the best combo of veggies is squash, red onion, zucchini, and bell pepper. Those are the best veggies to go on this. And then if you want to add diced cooked chicken, you can, but I didn't want to cook meat and I didn't want to pay for meat, so this makes the recipe obviously cheaper and easier if you just make it vegetarian like this. So I'm going to throw this back in the oven at 375 for about 10 minutes, and you can see me here struggling with the timer. Oh, there we go, finally got it. So we're going to toss this in the oven, and now it's hot. So the naan is all hot and toasty and the hummus is warm. Next up, we're going to make chicken fajitas, and we're going to use this pepper and onion mix and a bag of frozen chicken. Listen, this is so easy and it's very satisfying. But again, this is not as cheap as I would like it to be. I think this bag of chicken was a little less than $10, and we got 2 meals out of it. So 4 servings for a little less than $10. That's $2.50 just for the chicken. So I don't really think that's a great price. It's not terrible, but it's not great either. Anyway, on medium-high heat, you're going to put some olive oil in the pan, and then basically you throw in your bell peppers and onions, and you cook those for 2 minutes. And then after those have been cooking for 2 minutes, you'll take your thawed chicken and put it in the pan with it and cook it for another 5 minutes. I thawed my chicken out in the microwave, which is kind of not the best way to do it, but I wasn't planning or thinking ahead, and I wanted to be easy on myself. So here we go. It's all in the pan together. The chicken is already seasoned if you buy it in this frozen package. So that's nice. You don't have to add any seasoning. But if you want to add more to it, then you can. And I would throw that in at this point. You can zhuzh it up a little bit with more garlic powder or onion powder or whatever type of seasoning you like. It needs a little bit of salt, I will say. So make sure you salt it. And then I put cheese, sour cream, salsa on top of a tortilla with the fajita mix, and it's good. Next up is fish fillets. The Gordon's fisherman knows what he's doing, so basically I prepared all this stuff just according to the package, and I threw in the rest of that squash and red onion with the veggies, and that was quite good. Next up is rice and beans. Listen, this is so easy. Uncle Ben's ready rice. You can't beat it. Little veggie mix. I threw some of that Fiesta blend cheese on top of that, and it was a hearty meal. Finally is a breakfast scramble. I make breakfast almost once a week, whether it's pancakes or savory breakfast with breakfast potatoes. I love these breakfast potatoes. You buy a big 2-pound bag and keep it in your freezer for like 2 weeks, and you can eat it again and again on the side or as the basis of the meal. So you're going to cook this in oil for 20 minutes on medium-high heat on a pan. So this is probably the longest part of this recipe, is like making these potatoes. I threw seasoned salt on mine because I like it's a little bit spicy, but not really. And of course it's salty. So there's salt from the bacon, there's salt in the cheese, and there's salt on the potatoes. So do not salt your eggs until you've tasted it. So I just put the cooked bacon, I cooked it in the same pan, and I had my husband fry these eggs. So I didn't film that part because I didn't do it, and I don't know how to fry eggs. I'll just be honest with you. But I wanted a runny yolk, and my husband agreed to do it for me. So I threw on some of my Fiesta cheese and salsa, and there you go. That's dinner. Thanks for watching this video. I hope this gave you some ideas of things that you can cook for your family that are easy and simple and not too expensive. Let me know what you think, and have a good one. Bye-bye.